Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Kim Miller begins now.
Good evening, everyone. Fallen police officer Keith Smith has been farewelled by family, friends and colleagues in Devonport. Described as having always been the good cop, the kind, gentle and highly respected constable leaves behind a state in mourning. More than 1,000 lining the streets to pay their respects.
Draped in the flag, a final farewell for a fallen hero. A lap of honour through Devonport, Constable Keith Smith's coffin passing those he served beside and those he proudly served.
He wasn't just a police officer, he was a guardian, a mentor and a true friend to many in the community.
Bridgenorth born as a child, he enjoyed a day at the races with his grandfather. A junior footy player, cycling ended up being his passion.
He'd make me put on lycra, like I was preparing for Tour de France. Sometimes fast and competitive. I just wanted to cruise.
After college, he opened a computer store before finding his true calling in 2000, fulfilling his dream and graduating from the police academy. He'd be awarded 2 commendations in his first 2 years of service.
His community leadership, investigative skill and devotion to public safety were evident even in his earliest of years.
It was a job he fulfilled with passion and dedication.
Community members frequently wrote to express their appreciation, recognising his professionalism and composure in difficult circumstances. And this is definitely not something you see every day. One letter of support came from an offender who Keith had arrested.
In 2020, his posting to Ulverston Police Station would ultimately be his last, serving right up to his final day with the same vigour, tenderness and empathy.
Put simply, Keith was really almost a living definition of what it means to be kind, what it means to be caring and what it means to be gentle.
If anyone had the need to call or interact with the police, they were the luckiest members of society if they had Constable Keith Smith respond.
Keith has certainly left his mark on those he leaves behind, described not only as a model officer, but a model human being.
I want you to know that Keith's legacy will continue in us. His kindness, his compassion, and his wonderful nature has rubbed off on us all, and I assure you that there will be a bit of Keith with us as we continue to serve the community.
He's survived by his wife Janaea, 3 children and 2 grandchildren.
Rest in peace, Keith. With honour you served.
Nick Kelly, 7 Tasmania News.
Hundreds of local jobs could be on the line, with Zinc smelter near Star claiming it needs urgent government action to survive. The company recently scaled back production amid challenging market conditions and financial losses.
After dialling back production just a couple of months ago amid major financial challenges, Neostar says a solution is needed in weeks to secure the future of its Hobart zinc smelter.
It would be a significant economic hole, which for Tasmania, that is exactly the opposite of what Tasmania needs.
It's not an outcome that the Tasmanian community can afford to have.
Putting more than 500 workers and many indirect jobs at risk.
Employees at the zinc works have been very anxious for some time now about the future of the business.
The company's lead facility in South Australia is also on shaky ground, and there are fears if one of them falls over, so will the other.
The zinc works in Hobart works in tandem with the lead smelter in Port Pirie.
Neostar Australia says its operations are losing tens of millions of dollars a month, partly due to interventions by foreign governments in the global metals materials market.
The market manipulation has resulted in sort of prices that no one can sustain.
The business is calling for urgent action from the federal and both state governments. In a statement, a spokesperson for Industry Minister Tim Ayres says the Albanese government will continue to consider how to secure critical minerals and supply, and is working closely with Tasmanian and South Australian counterparts. The Premier has confirmed he's willing to cooperate on a joint response, while Labor leader Dean Winter also says he's prepared to collaborate should his party form government after the state election. Whether the solution will be a taxpayer-funded bailout remains unclear, as does the future of the Hobart Zinc factory. Anthony Dodd, 7 Tasmania News.
161 candidates have been confirmed to contest the upcoming state election. The Tasmanian Electoral Commission has today carried out a random draw to determine the order they will appear on ballot forms.
This is the first June-July election that we've had in a long time in Tasmania, so it'll be interesting to see if there's an increase in early votes from people leaving the state during the winter weather.
Early voting begins on Monday ahead of polling day on July 19. Tasmania's peak community services body says the sector could reach crisis point if it isn't able to secure the funding certainty it needs. A coalition of organisations has launched a campaign calling for candidates at this state election to commit to supporting the industry, which looks after the state's most vulnerable.
Every day my organisation balances a tough line between meeting the demands of carers and the needs of carers and balancing our budget.
If this continues, we will have a crisis in community services, and what that means is that Tasmanians won't have access to the supports they need in their local community.
The sector wants 5-year contracts and an indexation formula which reflects their costs of doing business. Who's top dog? That's the latest question in a battle between a local soccer organisation and pet owners. The field has been a shared space for the South Hobart Club and the community, but it now seems puppy love is waning.
3 p.m. at Darcy Oval, peak hour for poochers, but playdates like these may be numbered. The South Hobart Football Club wants to see pups off the pitch.
We work with them, we work in between their schedules and things like this to enjoy this space, so no, not very happy about it.
The club declined to be on camera, but states on social media the space is not suitable for off-lead dog exercise in the long term, taking issue with a number of matters. Health and safety being the first, claiming dog waste remains a constant issue. Surface damage also a problem for the club, with digging, urinating along with wear and tear. But dog owners dispute this.
It's very clear all the dog owners pick up most of the surface damage is caused by the soccer players themselves.
And there's concerns about dogs not being on leads, but handlers say the space is crucial for training and socialisation.
Without South Hobart Oval and all the fences, I could never have trained them.
Both sides have been at loggerheads for some time, but Council's draft policy regulating dog management for the next 5 years has ignited the rift.
What we're hearing at the moment is that, the status quo be maintained. We're also hearing other perspectives as well in terms of dogs not being allowed to be on the park. So there's a variety of different perspectives.
Residents say spaces for dogs to fetch and frolic is limited.
South Hobart Ground is safe, central, sunny and accessible. And there are no comparable green spaces in South Hobart for dog walking or dog off-lead exercise areas.
Both parties are calling for more off-lead dog areas in South Hobart. Council says it's committed to working with both the club and the dog owner community to implement improvements moving forward. Rebecca Gaydaneris at 7, Tasmania News.
Emerging local artists are getting a head start thanks to a new program, the Start Initiative, giving 6 local creatives the tools they need to start working on street art projects in Launceston. Participants learning how to promote themselves as professional artists and pick up new skills with a spray can.
Overwhelming at first, but once we had a good teacher. Once you learn, it's there.
Community Housing and the Launceston City Council teaming up with local spray paint pro Cream Art.
None of these students had picked up a spray can before, so it's been interesting to see how they've adapted to it.
The group will be hard at work over the weekend, finishing a 60-metre long mural at Ravenswood. Meeting demand, investing in workers and fast-tracking infrastructure spending are among the top election priorities for the state's leading medical association. AMA Tasmania believes the health sector is underfunded by up to $1 billion a year.
We've got a health service that's continually stuffing patients around because there's not enough beds. We're juggling patient flow to get patients off ambulances into the emergency department.
The group also requesting more investment in women's and mental health, along with drugs and alcohol services. Business owners have been left to mop up after a burst water main caused chaos in Launceston this afternoon. The lunchtime incident saw a CBD street turned into a river as crews scrambled to fix the fault.
An 80-year-old cast iron water main gives up the ghost. The 100mm pipe pouring thousands of litres of water into one of Launceston's busiest streets, leaving beauty therapist Erica Hausago marooned outside her salon.
We've got some clients that are still trapped in the building and we've had to call everyone to cancel all the appointments for the rest of the day.
The water main burst around 12 o'clock, sending a deluge down Cimetiere and Tamer streets and flooding a courtyard car park surrounded by local businesses.
All the girls at the beauty salon are putting towels up against the door and we've officially run out of towels to jam the door shut with now.
While some businesses faced a nervous wait for the torrent to stop rising, this antiques business wasn't so lucky. Water bursting through the back door and all the way through the shop. Its owner now faces losing any stock sitting on the floor. Taswater crews spending the afternoon stopping the flow and fixing the broken pipe. But some businesses will be cleaning up for days. Annie Green, 7 Tasmania News.
Businesses in the state's north are preparing to be overrun by chocoholics when the Chocolate Winterfest returns for its 20th year. One of this year's highlights, a blindfolded lunch featuring dishes made with the festival's star ingredient. It's one of 40 activities on offer at venues in and around Latrobe, all celebrating one of life's great pleasures.
It's good for not only our business, but I think for everyone in the Latrobe community to bring all the Latrobe together as businesses and really support the Winterfest.
It's not just about the economy and that boost we get. It's also about making people feel better about themselves, enjoying each other's company, getting out on a winter's day.
Around 8,000 visitors are expecting to attend Winterfest, which takes place on August 10. Salamanca is again in the spotlight, with hundreds of music enthusiasts gathering for the Big Sing bonfire to officially open this year's Festival of Voices. It's one of several pop-up performances scheduled as part of their 10-day program. Now, in its 20th year, the event is continuing to grow.
We have more youth choirs singing, we have more touring choirs singing. We have an expected audience of over 33,000 people coming to join us.
I think it can't be underestimated how important these cultural events are to the identity of the city of Hobart and how much it enlivens and activates our community.
The festival runs until July 6. Glenorchy's Hungry Jack's has made a whopping return after going up in flames last year, officially reopening its doors to the public today. The fast food restaurant has undergone extensive reconstruction after the blaze completely gutted it. The new build features digital ordering kiosks, dual-lane drive-through access and a children's playground. Well, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree in the Ponting family. The son of Tasmanian legend Ricky has hit the nets with the best of the Major League Cricket side Washington Freedom. 10-year-old Fletcher honed his skills, facing some throwdowns from the big show, Glenn Maxwell. The young gun has often been seen mingling with players at training sessions since Ponting Senior took the job as coach. After injury brought Billy Stanlake's BBL season to an early finish, the fast bowler is now raring to go. The 2-metre giant signing a fresh 2-year deal with the Hurricanes. A fractured shoulder sidelined him for the Purple Army's maiden title win, so now he's even more hungry for glory.
To see them get success after all these years was nice to see, and obviously for the city as well. But yeah, obviously we're pushing to go back to back.
But before any of that, he's jetting off to Darwin for his international return with Australia A.
Good evening. We're all happy it's Friday, aren't we? Hobart 14 today, Launceston, Devonport and Burnie all 13, and mostly fine right around the state. Temperatures range from Lyoweenie's -7 to our high of 15 at quite a few centres, including St Helens, Friendly Beaches, King and Flinders Islands. Scattered low cloud developed this afternoon over the west coast as some cloud persisted over the Bass Strait. A little more just drifted over the south later in the day. Low cloud over the southern coastlines of Western Australia and South Australia. More dense cloud over Victoria. A wide band of cloud covers northern Queensland. Tomorrow a trough approaches Tasmania. That'll be followed very late by a cold front from the southwest. West-northwest winds at 10 to 20 knots, reaching 30 knots over southern waters, then they'll tend west-southwesterly in the evening. We do have a strong wind warning. That's for waters from Tasman Island around to Low Rocky Point. A possible late shower for Hobart, 15 tomorrow, 12 for Medina. Oatlands a morning frost, mostly sunny, a top of 12 degrees. 30% chance of a shower, so partly cloudy and fine for Launceston, 14 for Devonport. Possible shower for Lyawini, -2 to a top of 8. 15 for Burnie with a shower, Strawn showery and 14, 15 the high for Marrawar. And down the east coast, fine and sunny, St Helens, Swansea and Orford, all 15. On Sunday, looks like a few showers, but mostly only light and isolated. Some snow too to about 800 metres. Frosty start to Monday and fine, apart from just a possible shower over Bass Strait and the west and southern coasts. And on Tuesday, early frost and valley fog, followed by a fine day generally, maybe a light shower for the southwest. Sunny in Perth tomorrow, 21 the high, partly cloudy and 15 in Adelaide and also Melbourne. -5 kicks off a cold day in Canberra. Sunny in Sydney, but a shower and 21 for Brisbane. Clear still in Hobart, it's 9 at the moment, 5 in Launceston, cooling down but fine, and 8 degrees in Devonport. This time of the year, Kim, the weather's not too bad.
Oh, I don't know about that. Thank you, Merv. Well, that is tonight's news. We'll recap the day's news, sport and weather throughout the night. But for now, thanks for joining us. Good night, everyone.